Hello, guys. Welcome to our very first episode of Sharing Our Last Brain Cell. I am Alanis, and this is my best friend, Brenda. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, welcome. This is our first episode, and I'm excited / nervous.
No need to be nervous.
I know. We're all best friends here. So my name is Brenda Flores. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. Okay. I'm currently doing my master's at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which is crazy because it's really cold and I'm not used to it at all. What about you? I'm also 25 years old. Yes, we're getting there.
We're grandmas at this point. Yeah.
Estamos viejitas.
Not going well.
What about you, Alani? ¿Dónde tú estás?
Okay.
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Hi, my name is Alanis Font, and I go to the University of Emerson College. That's the name. It's in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm originally from Maya West, Puerto Rico, and I'm studying writing and communications. That's it. Not sure what else I'm supposed to be doing at this point. I'm also 25 years old. We did meet in college
Yes, we did.
7 years ago at this point, which is insane to think about. Yeah. How did that happen, Brenda? You tell me. How did that happen?
Okay, so before we get into that, so we decided to do a podcast because we're that stereotypical group of friends or besties that was like, oh, if we have a talk show, it would be so funny. Like our life is like sitcom, and everyone's doing podcasts nowadays.
We're funny. And the things that happened to us, let me tell you.
Yes, ahora a telenovela, insane, crazy shit. So we just decided it was time, and let's make something out of it because it's gonna be great if people get to experience the shit that goes in our life.
No, but seriously, we're here to talk about literally everything and anything from dating to talking about pop culture, entertainment news. I've always been very interested in entertainment news. I'm a huge fangirl, as you can tell. So is Brenda. Yes. So we are interested in discussing that and discussing serious topics too, because we can talk about pretty much everything here.
Yeah. And we're not professionals. So feel that you're sharing a conversation with your friend from home.
Yeah, exactly. We want you to join the conversation rather than we're not. You shouldn't trust everything we say because we don't know everything.
They're just our hot takes and opinions on stuff.
Exactly. We're just sharing what we think.
Yeah. And also trying to talk about everything, and maybe highlight a little bit more of the grad life. Because I feel like not a lot of people know about how it all goes down, and it could be a scary thing. But that's for another day. But
if you're interested in an episode of us just talking about graduate school, how we got in, how we chose our programs, please let us know.
Yes, we know what we're doing.
Excuse me. Sure, we know what we are doing. Of course, we know what we're doing.
Yes,
we do.
So, going back to what Alani said, we met in a really normal, natural way. So, let's start by the university that we went to as undergrad.
No,
it's University of Puerto Rico at Maya West. It's a really important university, part of the public system of Puerto Rico, the education of Puerto Rico. And I got there, I got accepted, I was really excited. I moved out of my house to an apartment for the first time when I was 16, and I was excited to just meet people. It's a university that focuses on engineering, and I was going there to get an undergrad in English literature.
Terrible idea.
I mean, comparative literature, then I changed. That's all I think.
We did establish that you should have changed when you started. We did.
Oh yeah.
I told you several times, but anyways, not the point.
Yeah.
Not the point.
Not a virgin. So they make this little division at the beginning of the semester. The first week they give you counseling, and you get to go to the campus and you meet professors and meet your the classrooms and people that are in the same department that you're gonna be, and all of that. It's really pro estudiante. It's really good. And I see this girl, and she has some jeans. Was it a red shirt that you were
It
wearing?
was blue with like
With
polka
red
dots.
tops.
Yeah.
Red tops. And me being the extrovert that I am, I walked right through her, straight. Like if I knew her my whole life, I tapped her shoulder, and I got like, "Are you a directioner?" Okay, let's paint the scene even better. It's 2014, right?
God. Before
It was
they
2014.
broke up. They
broke up.
Yeah.
Dana had already left.
No, he hadn't. No, because that day I was taking Spanish class, and then I walked out of class to call you. That was 2015. That was like the second semester of our freshman year. I will never forget that. That was
I thought he left the band when I was in my senior year.
No, he left March 25th, 2015.
Oh wow. And I was the same girl.
I was not. I've always been an aisle girl forever.
Yeah.
He's everything.
Oh my god, sane. Anyhow, so I walked to this girl and I literally just said the first thing that I said to her, "Are you a directioner?" And in my mind I was like, this is gonna be my best friend.
And here we are 7 years later starting a freaking podcast, even though I am in like Boston and she's like in Chicago, but like whatever.
And it's been a wild ride ever since. Okay, so it was not just that I literally walked up to her and I was like, "Oh, are you a directioner?" It was like I incorporated little by little into like her friend group. And we took classes together. All of a sudden, we were in the same classes, but that was not on me. I was not being a soccer.
No, but there is a theory, a conspiracy theory that you went to that university to meet me, which will not make sense to anybody else, but it's an inside joke. Like, it's fine, whatever.
It's fine, fine.
Anywho, I guess I should say before we continue, like I was not looking forward to going to this university. I only went there because it was the cheapest university I could go to. I could keep my high school job and I could still live at home because I could not afford to go to the university that I wanted to, which is very important to mention because we are having some issues in Puerto Rico, and we would like to keep education available for everyone, and that's what we stand for. Even though I hated the 5 years that I was at that university and I had a horrible time, at least I went to university and I didn't owe any money when I graduated. So that's something we should definitely talk about later on. But education for all, please. Thank you. Anywho,
Puerto Rico is a beautiful island, but there's a lot going on right now there.
There's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. So I got into that university and I was really excited because, like I said, I get to move out. And then I met this girl that's dressed like Louis Tomlinson.
You were dressed like Harry because you had like a shirt that was like Harry something. I can't remember that well.
I had green jeans. I remember they were like velvety. Okay. And I had a pink flower tank top that made up out of like silk material.
Okay. Yeah, I remember because it was like Harry. And I was like, this girl, I see where you're going with this. And I was just like Louis, which again, my favorite style, but
But it's crazy because then after that week passed, we started going, like my first class of my first semester, of the first day, early in the morning, was English.
Right. And then
And guess who's in the classroom?
Who's in there? She's there.
Alanis.
Oh God. I was so nervous for that class. I generally until the last few days of the first semester, I thought I was gonna flunk out. Like they were gonna tell me go back to high school. That's how I spent my first semester.
Oh my God. Yeah, because okay, I don't know. The education system in Puerto Rico is not the best, even though we want to keep it, because the education system at university level is actually really good. So it's good. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it's really good and affordable. And it's top notch in the sense that we have good students that get out of the university,
They go on to do very good things. Yes, they are well prepared for whatever else they want to,
But our high school and middle school and elementary experience is not the best unless you go to a private school.
Yeah.
And I never went to a private school.
Me neither. I mean, I generally got kicked out of a test so they could celebrate a girl's baby shower when I was in high school. So that's the kind of thing we come from.
So our background, our roots in our education is not the best. And our English classes were not the best either, because they were not prepared, and they didn't I can possibly tell you that the first time I learned how to write a decent essay was in my first class as an undergrad.
That's crazy.
And that's why I was also scared, and I shared that sentiment with you, because I went to study comparative literature in Spanish.
Right.
And I was really excited to get better at writing and experience all that. But I didn't understand what that meant until I got there, and I was like, oh shit, I know nothing.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's exactly how I felt for the first semester, especially because I took this class with Lidia Margarita González Quevedo. We'll never forget
I love her so much.
She's amazing. We love her. It was humanities. And that class was the first time that I just realized I know nothing about this world. And it's so much more than I could ever even understand. I need to just wake up and get my shit together. Yesterday. Yeah. It was a hard time.
And it's crazy because I feel that our university life shapes the person that you are so much.
100%.
Because it's the first place when you are put on the spot to think and if you go to question school, everything without being forced by your family. By not being forced by your family to think like they think. So it's you have so much freedom to grow as a person, and now they're trying to take that away from
the that's what they want to do. They want to keep people numb and not thinking about anything. But I definitely feel that way, and that's how I feel, because it's when you grow up. It's not high school, it's college. It's when you come into your own and then discover this world, the things that you thought were true were just different. It's a fun time.
Yeah, and that's how we met. we met in this random place that we saw full, at least from my perspective, I saw it full of possibility and new beginnings and friendships. And
I was just I need to get the fuck out of here. And I have no other choice but to stay here.
Yeah. What was your thought process when you met me?
Oh God.
Back to that first.
My God. First impression. No, I feel you were, I was oh my gosh, this girl's nice and she likes One Direction, but she talks a lot. Which, I mean, was I wrong? Was I wrong?
Caroline, honey.
Oh my gosh. And then once I gave you a ride, I think, and then you were singing like really loudly in my car.
And I was like, I just met this bitch. What the fuck?
Oh God. Oh no. Oh, what a time.
Oh no.
Yeah, that
Our friendship has gone through it.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like the fact that it survived honestly, I had one good year out of the 5 in colegio.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's survival of that, and I will never forget the day we were at La Cueva, which is like the school's cafe, and I was just like full on sobbing, and this girl was holding me while I was crying, and I will never forget that, and I will we will be forever grateful for your friendship. I don't mean to get like sappy or like cheesy or whatever, but like that's why we're here 7 years later.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we haven't seen each other in 2 years.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Let's talk about that.
Because
so this Missy, let's start with you. Okay, so manifestation is real, people. Manifestation is real. And it's called, I have this theory that it's called a different name in every culture and thing. But manifestation is real. This girl right here, Alanis, every time we would leave Starbucks for having our coffee dates and doing study dates, every time we would get out of going for dinner or something like that, and she would leave me at my apartment, she would tell me, oh, nos vemos en 2 años, see you in 2 years.
No.
Oh, no, see you next year. See you next year.
But that's not manifestation, bitch. Like, what are you talking about?
Honey, she would literally, sorry, I dropped something. She would literally say, see you next year. And I'll be like, haha, blah, blah, blah. And then
it was a joke.
It happened.
It was a joke.
That came true. That came true.
To be fair, I did not predict the COVID-19 pandemic. I did not. I was supposed to visit you in Florida in like May of 2020. Okay.
Yeah, so she graduated first.
In 2019, yeah.
In 2019.
Almost didn't graduate.
I changed my major.
Yeah.
I changed my major in my 3rd year. I was already taking like I was only missing like 4 credits for my undergrad to finish.
I told her to do it earlier, but nobody listens to me.
Because I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it, but it was stressing. It was giving me so much anxiety because I was not feeling that I was doing my best at it, because I needed to take another language.
Right.
And I was not doing well with Italian. And it was like this whole process. And I changed majors. So I graduated in December of 2020. I went to do an internship with Disney, the Disney College program.
December 2019. Because then you were.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
December 2019.
2019, yeah.
So, yes. And then I went to do my internship with Disney. Worked there for 2 months. COVID started. Got fired.
Oh, fuck. Gotta love big corporations, don't you?
Got fired. I mean, at least they paid me.
Thank God.
The month.
Thank God. The bare minimum.
Yeah, the bare
after
minimum.
They fired you.
Yeah, without not notice. Literally, I was at a shift and one of the girls started crying. I was like, "Are you okay?" And she goes like, "Didn't you receive the email?" And you're not supposed to on stage, which is what they call where you work, to have any personal items on. So I was like, "No," and she's like, she has her Apple Watch, and she shows me the email, and it said, "We're sorry to announce that the program has been terminated." And I was like, "What?" And like the Disney College program, if you don't know about it, it's basically students from all over the world that go to work at Disney, and they live at Disney, and they can work at Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and you just live there and work there and you get paid and you get credits for class, or if you graduated, it's just like an internship and you don't get credits. And there's people from Italy, France,
Crazy.
all over the United States, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Peru, like international students. And COVID started. It was a disaster.
Right. At least you were
Everyone
not
was-
stranded. You weren't stranded.
They only gave us 3 days to get out of the apartment complexes.
Insane.
And then people from Peru, that the borders got closed, they were like, what are we going to do? You can just throw us to the streets. And then they accommodated them. But they were living for free in their apartments, but they still needed like money for groceries and stuff. So it was horrible. It was a horrible experience.
Wow.
COVID really changed the lives of a lot of people. And that internship was one of them. But because of that, we hadn't seen each other since you graduated, because you moved to.
Right. I graduated in June 2019. And then in July, I just went to live with my family in New York. I got a whatever job while I could find anything else. Jobs are not that easy to get these days, apparently, allegedly. I knew I wanted to do my master's sometime, but I just kept pushing, then decided to go see my family in February, stayed for 3 weeks instead of 1, and then COVID hit and I got stuck in New York while all of my stuff was still.
You got stuck in Puerto
Rico, and then all of my stuff was still in New York. So it was kind of weird, but at least I was with my family. I can't really complain because I was with my family. I was with my parents. It was a little bit difficult because like family dynamics are always complicated in Latinx houses. And you know, you're expected to just do whatever, whenever, and have no privacy, which you went through that, having to go back to your house.
Yeah, but now that I'm thinking about it, like we had a really parallel situation because you were stranded in Puerto Rico.
Right.
I was stranded in Florida. So it was like the same in a sense, because I was staying at my uncle's house. So my mom's brother lives in Florida for 20 years and he has a big house and I had my own room, and he was super excited because he's a sweetheart and he doesn't have the best relationship with our big family in the sense that he's in Florida all by himself. So we don't get to see him that much. And he was super excited. He's like a little kid.
Oh.
He has like motorcycles and jet skis, and he was like, oh, we're gonna do this and that. And I'm like, honey, we're in a pandemic. Let's keep activities the minimum and inside.
Right.
Because it was the beginning of the pandemic.
Right. Nobody knew anything about how this was working.
Yeah, but because of that, I had a really good alojamiento for the beginning of the pandemic because I had my own room. He was literally starting to tell me, okay, so you're gonna live with me now. You want me to get you a car? Do you want to start applying to schools, universities here? And I'm like, oh,
chill. 1 sec.
Back it up. Because I was afraid that Puerto Rico was gonna close.
Right. Yeah.
And I was stranded in Florida. My little brother was stranded in Chicago.
Right.
And it was like, what if we don't get to go home? And like I wasn't doing anything, so I was getting a little depressed because I got, like everyone in the world, I got taken out of a really strict routine that I had created for myself. That I was like, okay, I go to work almost 7 days a week, and when I'm free I go to the parks and I have fun and I'm with friends and blah blah, and I have like my own independent life. And now I'm stuck in a room with a family member that I love and care for, but it's not my family. It's not my home.
Yeah, it's not the people you grew up with and your space.
Yeah.
Definitely. I honestly think that the best thing that could happen to me was being stranded in Puerto Rico, because New York just like shut down completely and it was really scary. And I don't know how I would have gone through that. Because again, I'm really close with my family in New York, but it's not the place that I grew up in. It's not my home. Like it's not my space where I have like my stuff wherever. So it would have been really challenging. even though I hated the idea of staying in Puerto Rico for a long time, because that's why I left right after I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, I'm thankful because then I just got the time to think about what I was going to do next and got to do a year online.
Yes. And also, I feel, sorry, Puerto Rico did such a good job with the pandemic. Like, let me explain.
I think we might disagree.
Puerto Rico has a lot of shit, and it's going through a lot, and it's not a perfect place.
Definitely.
But we have to acknowledge that they took the pandemic seriously, not as they should have, because they didn't close a lot of things because they were focusing more on money instead of people, because they didn't close their airport, they didn't close stores, they didn't close places to go eat and drink. My sister was working at a bakery and she never stopped working. That bakery never closed down.
Crazy.
But in the sense of controlling the masses, going out for days, they had a really good system at the beginning, which was like one of the most important parts, because it started and they were like, it helped create a routine that everyone got on board on.
Okay.
And I was surprised because Puerto Rico, with disasters, I mean, with Maria,
that's a whole nother story.
No, the people were good. The government was not. And here again, I think it's the same thing. The people were good at it. Like, if you were the owner of your own place, you had your rules and people need to fucking follow them. I feel like the government was doing whatever they wanted, but now to see that we're like one of the places that's most vaccinated.
Oh yeah, that's very important.
That's a fucking amazing. So I think that's why I feel like
fair. I don't know, because a lot of places again did not close. There was a lot of people that were just like going to the mall to just like hang out wherever. There was long lines outside of places like Marshall's, where what the hell are you gonna buy there? Just clothes and home stuff. Like, you don't need anything from Marshall's. So I did see a lot of people that were just like out and about doing whatever, whenever, even when there was no vaccination. And when the thing first started, like, I didn't go out for like 2 full months. Like, I didn't leave my house. My mom was the one that went to the supermarket and we just stayed home, especially because I lived with my grandfather who was old and, you know, was more vulnerable to the thing. So I didn't see any friends, I didn't see anybody, but I kept seeing people on my Instagram just like full on partying, which was insane. You know, so I get what you mean, and there is a lot of good that happened in those times where people cared about not spreading the disease and like stopping it. And they did have some systems in place where it was like the license plate where you had some days where you could go out and stuff like that. But I feel like they just took them away too quickly. They were just like, okay, we did this for a month. That's fine.
It worked.
Let's move on from that.
I feel that they saw that the things that they made worked. And then the implementations, and they were like, oh, so this worked. So let's bring them down. Vamos a sacarla. Vamos a volver a la normalidad. And then cases will go up again.
Exactly.
And then they will be really strict again. And then cases will go down. Be like, oh, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah. And then there, until like a few months ago, it was like one of the highest rates. Puerto Rico had the highest rates. And it was like level 4, red something, do not go to this place unless it's absolutely necessary. But again, thanks to vaccination, we are the most vaccinated. But still, there's a lot to do still.
Yeah, and it's that's one of the reasons. Away. Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why we haven't seen each other in 2 years.
Right, back to us, the people who matter on this podcast. Back to us. We did see each other in May 2020 for your graduation photos.
Yeah.
And that was the last time we saw each other.
Oh my god, literally
crazy.
Yeah, because we in Puerto Rico, I live 2 hours away from where she's from.
And I know 3 because you live in like the mountains. And I'm a city girl. I'm a city girl.
Oh, she's a city girl. She's a college town girl. And I live in the countryside.
Yeah. So we never saw each other because Girly doesn't drive either. She doesn't have a driver's license.
I got my driver's license that week. Not really.
Ever.
Yeah, I don't drive. 25, I don't drive. It gives me anxiety.
So since she couldn't drive, my car wouldn't make it over there because it's not my car. It's my mother's car, but it's old. We didn't get to see each other at all. We saw each other for your photos, which I didn't take. I was just there to just like be pretty because what did I do?
Of course.
And then that was it. Because then I didn't see anybody because I didn't even see like my hometown friends. I was just like, I'm not having any interactions with you. I don't know where you've been. I don't know who you had contact with. I'm not getting my grandfather sick.
And we saw each other because we have the same situation where I live in a 2-story house back in Puerto Rico, and the second floor, my grandpa that is 91 lives there, and he is a dialysis patient. So we were obviously being really careful.
Right.
I wasn't working. My mom doesn't work. My dad was working, but he was like working like 1 or 2 days a week. So it was like really low.
Yeah, we were not interacting with random people at all. And then then summer 2021 rolled around. Vaccinations became a thing, and then I was able to go get my panties from New York because that's where they were. And
your panties from New York.
My shit was still in New York.
Yeah, you had everything in New York.
And then
I went to New Jersey the same like a week.
Listen, Brenda.
That you went to New York, right? When you went to New York to look for your stuff.
It was before. No, I think it was before. It was before. Yeah. Because you were dropping off your brother or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So then, and then I went back to Puerto Rico, left some stuff, and then decided to go back to New York so my family could drive me to Boston and move me in to this apartment, which is where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Traveling, it's crazy right now.
It's so crazy. And like people still don't care. Like I saw a guy that was in the it was in the plane. We were already in the plane, we were already in the air, and he just like took off his mask and was just like, this is not for me.
I don't people, man. I really
don't.
Yeah, humanity. Talking about humanity. So today is November. Wow. That's why this podcast is called Share Your Last Race Sale. That's where the name came from, by the way, people.
That's how we're doing.
So today's November 6th. Yeah, that's how we're doing. So today's November 6th, and Alani doesn't know about it.
I don't know.
But no. Today I woke up to the whole Travis Scott thing. So Travis Scott has a fest, Astroworld Fest, which let's start by saying we're still in a pandemic, people. There's no reason for you to be going to festivals where thousands of people are going to be there.
Right.
Even if it's outside.
Still.
So I woke up and I checked the time and I got notifications for Twitter. So I got onto Twitter. I'm not proud of saying that the first thing I do when I woke up is check my phone, but it's a reality. And Travis Scott is trending, and I just go and see. And it's because people died in his fest. So the thing that happened, he has this festival like a Coachella thing.
Yeah.
He has done it before, apparently. I have no.
I feel like I've heard about this, but because of Kylie Jenner. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So the first day was last night, and people broke the barricade and got in even if they didn't have tickets, because he's the type of artist that tweets, oh, if you don't have tickets, don't worry, break in. Like, I support that. And you're a person that you have influence on people, you shouldn't take your words lightly at all. And people did that, and it's not the first time that happens. Lollapalooza happened in Chicago, and he was singing, and he said something like that, but he was shot down quickly by the guards
As he should.
at the place.
Uh-huh.
So people started getting in. There were more than 50,000 people there, and the people that were already in front of the tarima, the stage, they were being suffocated by the people that were running to get in. So they were running out of air, and they started dropping because they didn't have air, oxygen. They started dropping. People started having panic attacks, which led to cardiac arrest. And the whole thing gets worse because he just kept singing.
No fucking way.
The event didn't finish. Like, they didn't stop the event. He just kept singing, and people were dying. Like, 8 people died, and there's like 100 or more injured right now. And the thing is that we live in a generation of cell phones. Everything is online. Like, on that thread that I was looking, I saw bodies purple because they were dead.
No.
And it's like, how I have so many questions, because how do you, first of all, as an artist, see what's happening? Because people were saying, oh, that was a really good big crowd, he couldn't have noticed, and the event was live streamed, and you can hear people screaming, like, for the songs and whatever, and then like half of them are screaming, stop, help, people are dying, we need to stop this now, we need help. The people around were not letting paramedics, medics, and guards get to the people that were injured. People got stepped on. Dead bodies were literally being crowd searched to safe spots. And you can see medics like doing CPR, and they're like purple because they already died. And this is something that happened yesterday. And the people that are around, they're just enjoying the concert. And Drake came on stage and started singing, and you can see the desperation of other people trying to like get the attention of others. Like, we need to stop this. Like, and others just Snapchat, singing, getting on top of the golf carts that had the paramedics, trying to get a better view. People drop in, they move forward because now they're closer to the stage. There's a video of Travis Scott literally in a crane thing singing around the audience, and he sees how they drag a guy out of the crowd, and they start doing CPR compressions, and he's singing and looking at him, and he keeps going and starts doing the robot. Where's the humanity, the empathy? I have no fucking words.
No, you've left me speechless. I can't talk. Speechless. That's horrifying. No,
it feels like I'm making it up.
Yeah.
Alanis, the videos.
No, I don't want to see that. No shit. No.
There's testimonies of people like on news coverage, like saying like, we were trying to get the attention of the staff to stop the show. People are dying. Nothing. Someone that was in, and he was like, I felt like I was in a crowd. People dropping and nobody was doing anything about it. And I just wanted to get out, and I couldn't because there were so many people. No, and I just put myself in his situation. And how I don't know the world right now. And I know this just took like a really dark turn, but it's happening, and it's like they just decided to ignore the fact that people are being injured.
Well, first of all, like 50,000 people. Why? no, not right now, not ever. First of all. Second, the fact that they kept singing and it's just like nothing happened here. It's all good. What the fuck is that? Like, I'm speechless, honestly. Like, I cannot believe that's a thing.
And like Kylie Jenner was there and she did like an Instagram post minutes before it all started to like go downhill. That's what they're saying, like, oh, when it all started to go down. And I read an article that said Kylie pregnant makes it safe out of the.
Come on.
And I'm like,
come on now. No. That's not.
And they haven't said anything. Like Kendall or Kylie, they were there. They haven't,
of course,
put on a statement.
Of course, they're not going to say anything.
Travis Scott did the most bullshit statement ever. Like, oh, love to the family of the people that. It's like, I saw a video of you. Ignore the whole situation. And like telling them to keep raging. And the scariest thing is that the stage, the way that it was made, it was like a mountain, and in the middle it had a circle, and the circle had letters that said "See you on the other side."
Oh, I don't like that.
And a person inside the crowd had a poster that said, "We will survive."
Okay.
It feels like that scene out of a scary movie.
That just gave me like what's this called? Like shiver. Like I don't even know.
I don't want to like, but since we're like talking about this and those are people and families, like right. I would, there's, I don't know how to like say that our thoughts are with them, because it's like,
definitely I'll leave some information in the description below. I'll find something and see if they have like some type of like GoFundMe or something. I believe that the organizers should have covered any and all expenses for these people, first of all, because like why the fuck did you just like keep going and nothing's happening? Also, like the fact that people just kept pushing and just like, let's just enjoy this concert. Who cares? Like, let's just rave on. Don't do that, please. If you see something that's wrong, please do something about it. Yeah. Holy shit.
Do something about it.
Holy shit.
And to the people that actually did something about it,
thank you.
Like, you guys are fucking heroes. Holy and shit. My prayers are with you, and I have giving you good thoughts your way, because what you guys just experienced is something that it's not light.
No, that's traumatizing.
I'm so sorry that you guys had to go through that, and that you guys went with the expectation to have a good time and listening to music and trying to get a sense of normality within this whole thing, and ended up in a tragic with such a bad experience. I'm really truly sorry.
That's devastating. Honestly, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone involved, and I hope that people take responsibility for this. I did not know anything about this, so I'll look some information up and add it to the description. And holy shit, let's do better. Let's do better. Let's leave that there and let's do better. I think we are over our time for today, actually. So let's just give our closing statements, as in the fact that we need to see each other soon.
Yes, yes, we do.
I don't know how that's gonna happen, but
let's hope it soon.
Does.
Miss you.
I don't know how we've been, because the thing is that we saw each other for like 5 years, for like every single day. And then we just like
stopped seeing each other for 2 years straight.
Let me say something about that, because like it's so truly just like devastating that you just like grow up, and the worst thing is that none of your friends are in the same state. Can we just like talk about that for a sec? Because like I'm devastated. And honestly, we should make a whole episode about this, to talk about like making connections, like talking to people, because like it's been really difficult for me.
Yeah.
Especially since I didn't know anyone in Boston, after the fact that I spent 5 years preparing to move to New York and then move to Boston. We'll talk about that in another episode. Let me just leave with that. Anything else you would like to add, Brenda?
Yeah, this is like, I hope you guys enjoy, if there even anyone listening to us.
Yeah, well, at least our moms will listen. Will listen.
Yeah. I miss you, but this is basically what you can expect from our podcast. We have some little topics played out that we want to talk about, but we will try to incorporate things that are happening in the world and in pop culture and things we will normally talk in a phone conversation, because that's basically the whole
exactly, definitely something like very John and Green and Hank Green-esque about this. I can talk whatever, you know what I mean, like it's like they have a conversation in videos and like they just post different days, whatever. So maybe something like that. Also, I want us to add that I spent like 3.5 hours plus building my dresser that I got delivered 2 months ago. So I'll send you a picture. And I just forgot to tell you about that. I just needed to tell you. The gavetas don't close all the way, but we're not gonna work on that. Anywho,
next episode we will find out if Alanis
I'm not fixing that.
Work.
I'm not fixing that. Fuck that. No. Anywho, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of nonsense of me and Brenda and I. Yes, I don't know how else to say that.
Brenda and Alanis.
Exactly. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you visit us again and join our conversation. I'll leave all the information of what we talked about here today in the description, and our handles if you want to follow us and see the nonsense that we post on the internet. I haven't posted TikTok in a very long time, but I do post on Twitter very frequently.
My TikTok is full of me fangirling about BTS and Taylor Swift. It's not.
My Twitter is all about Taylor Swift, and currently my obsession with the Umbrella Academy and My Chemical Romance.
Which you're so late to that.
Shut up, Brenda.
Like, we need to talk about that.
Next episode. Next episode. Because I bought the blazer.
Oh my god. Okay, and we promise that we're gonna get better at like having a better structure. This is just an intro so you can get a feel about what we're gonna do.
Also, like, not too structured, because this is just a conversation. We're here to be friends, right? So just like we're
that's a conversation.
I mean, to be fair, how much structure can we have? Us talking about, come on. Okay,
this is why we share our last brain cell.
That's why that's where we're gonna leave it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Brenda.